You guys are going to absolutely love this next guest that we have coming on here today. She is an absolute Pinterest queen. And Pinterest is something that my team and I are going to be implementing into our business absolutely this year. And it really does seem like it's the best time ever to start implementing Pinterest into your business if you haven't yet already. You'll definitely find out why in this episode. So, a little bit about our guest, Kim Ward. So, Kim Ward helps female entrepreneurs find their empowered voice so they can have over the top fulfillment and over the top sales. As a certified master transformation coach, Kim combines mindset shifts with NLP modalities into her digital marketing training so that her clients evolve in a way that breaks old patterns and kickstarts results in their business. Kim is a 2 times best-selling author, produced 2 best-selling anthologies, reality show finalist, global coach and trainer, Brains Magazine senior executive contributor, and has retired her husband, Rich, after his 23 years of serving as a firefighter. Hot damn. That is like, what an incredible bio. And really, this interview totally encapsulated this exact bio and everything she is and how truly authentic she is. She's such a riot and an amazing person. So here we go, Miss Kim Ward. Welcome, visionaries and revolutionaries, to the Aligned Empire Podcast, your gateway to building a movement of change, wealth, and impact. I'm your host, Drea Brown. This podcast is for the visionary woman who is ready to master the energetic frequencies of money, business, and herself, and is ready to expand into a frequency, life, and empire that mirrors her highest purpose. Together, we are rising up and reshaping the world as we know it, defying limitations and boldly embodying our highest selves. You're not just listening to another podcast. You're embarking on an epic journey. Welcome, Kim. I'm so excited to have you on today. You're such a badass. After reading your bio, you're such a badass.
First of all, it sounds exhausting being me. And second of all, I'm so honored to be here. This is great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so glad we got entangled and connected. And so tell me about your journey. How did you end up to being a digital marketing expert to where you are today, to retiring your husband, Rich, after 23 years as a firefighter, reality show finalist, like crazy, 2-time best-selling author, like what the heck? So how did you get here?
I stumbled my way here. It's funny. I grew up in a wildly dysfunctional home. We grew up on food stamps, and there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of pain from my childhood and my upbringing. So it was very, very important to me that I broke those generational curses. I didn't realize at the time that I was following in those footsteps. So by the time I was 17, I found myself pregnant. I had my son at 18. And I thank God, almost like every day, I'm like, if that child did not come into my life, I wouldn't have made the decisions that have developed me personally, professionally, spiritually, in all the ways. So believe it or not, I went into the corporate world. We know what that's like, don't we? And I was pregnant with my second child when my only sister took her own life at the age of 22. And I got a week of bereavement. And I remember thinking, I'm trying to grow this human and I'm trying to be an executive badass, and I'm hurting. I'm dying inside, and I can't even process what has happened in a week. And you expect me to grieve and get back to work in a week. And so unfortunately, I did. And I found my daughter, 6 weeks old in daycare, and I was breastfeeding her. So I was using my breast pump in the same bathroom where our patients would give their urine samples. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. And I used to joke in my early 20s that I needed a life coach, but I didn't realize in my early 30s how true that would be. And so I hired my first coach at 31, and he helped me break through and bust those patterns and the stories that I was living into. And honestly, one thing led to another. And I became more brave and more courageous and more risky and started to take chances and found myself on a reality show with Ray Higdon. I was the third global finalist. And I walked away with tons of perspective. And that lit a fire in me that I didn't even know I could level up and go just full on gangsta mode. And I did. And I became addicted to the impact for others. And the journey's still, it's still being written. It's still unraveling. It's pretty wild.
Amazing. Is that why you got into NLP?
Yes, absolutely. So I was going through my certification process as a coach, and it was simultaneously with the neurolinguistic programming at the same time. And I remember in my early 20s, I actually dropped out of nursing school just because of the psychology class. I hated it. I remember my teacher, I'm like, screw this. I picked up my backpack, I walked out of school, and I quit college for nursing school. I did go back and get my bachelor's degree in business management, but I don't use it today. I guess I do in other ways. And I remember going through NLP and I was exhausted. I was mentally drained. I was energetically drained. And I'd walk out after my coaching, training, and I'd look at my husband and I go, I am never, ever doing this. And he's like, every time you say you're not doing something, you fall in love with it and become amazing at it. And I'm here to tell you, I have NLP'd hundreds and hundreds of women with massive success stories, and I am completely in love with it. So he was right.
I love it. I love it. So NLP and then digital marketing. So I bet that
Yes.
goes very much hand in hand as well
I
with
really
what you do.
stumbled onto my POV, and I don't know if we've talked about this at all, but I was given a task by my coach at the time, and she was like, "You need a POV that just gives people whiplash." And I think it took me like 0.5 seconds to say, "Okay, well, if you had a stronger belief in yourself, you wouldn't be so damn broke." And I didn't realize at the time I was really talking to the old version of myself, because it takes confidence. It takes courage. We use these cliche words like, oh, get out of your comfort zone. It takes balls and it takes courage to do things. And sometimes we're afraid to hit live, whether it's Facebook or TikTok. We're afraid to get up and speak on a podcast, forget stages, writing that book and putting pen to paper. We have to dig deep and find the authentic self, that courage, that unapologetic piece of us, and share that with the world. And so I fell in love with this blended idea of mindset and marketing.
I love that because you embody, as I'm looking at you with bright pink fluffy earmuffs or headphones, I really see you embody that so much. And would you, I would imagine, yes, yeah, now she's putting up a hell yeah sign, like, you guys, she is such a riot. I really hope you go back into the video and actually see what just this incredible, energetic, amazing human. But it sounds like that journey that you went through, that hard journey that you went through, and then you found a life coach, and then you went through NLP, and now you help people break through their massive barriers and their massive fears, their massive doubts.
Absolutely.
And help them explode their message or their offers, or how does that connect?
So it's about, getting out there authentically so that you're generating the right leads. We can teach you the tactics, right? This, we can teach you the strategies, but if we put on a mask or a facade and we go out there and we're building the way that we think we should based on other people's opinions or expectations, we're not building the right crowd for us. And there is going to be a day where you either wake up and you go, who the hell have I been living? Who am I? What do I stand for? And you're going to rip off that mask and go, damn it, it's time for me to show up. And if you've been living that facade, your audience that you've built is going to be like, who is this? Who's this person that I've been following? So it's about bringing yourself out authentically in a way where you realize, first and foremost, the moment you entered your mom's womb, you were the exact puzzle piece that this world needed. And you also have a skill, a talent, a personality, or something, or multiple things that can help other people completely transform. And if you hide And if you choose, and I say choose because it is a choice, it is as simple as making a decision. If you choose to not show up, you are robbing people of the transformation that only you can help with. And most people aren't okay with that. So when I connect the marketing dots and say, are you ready to generate not just a lead, but the right lead? Are you ready to make the right sale? I want divine appointments. I want divine clients. I want divine stages. I want the most impactful places. And if I'm talking to one person, I know it's the right person. And I don't fight that.
And so someone who is scared right now listening to this, and maybe they feel that in their heart they really haven't been showing up as all of who they are and they're playing small, what is the first step for them to take right now?
Oh my gosh, what a great question. One exercise that I love is I would encourage you to grab pen and paper. You know, when we write with pen and paper, we activate more than 6 places in our brain. That's why when we're taking tests in school, we write things, we make flashcards, it's repetition, it's brain work. That's why journaling is such a great exercise. If you sit down, pen and paper, and you create a timeline of your life for as far back as you can remember and write down every single accomplishment, no matter how small you think it is, every triumph, every celebration, every win, you're going to be able to look back and reflect. And that's when we learn. We learn in reflection, not in the moment. You're going to be able to reflect and go, holy crap, I am a warrior. I am a champion. I've overcome so much. And you are going to start to breathe and inhale that confidence that maybe helps you just put one foot in front of the other.
And then maybe read all of those accomplishments every single day before you start to show up and get back into that embodied energy of being honestly a badass.
Yes. Yes. We all have it.
I love. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. And seeing, just me seeing you show up here today like this even makes me feel more comfortable to be myself. And that's the beauty of being vulnerable. That's the beauty of showing up as yourself, is you really truly allow other people to show up as well.
Absolutely.
And make us feel comfortable.
Thank you
So
for
I love that. Yeah, I love it. I 100% love your energy, Kim. It's amazing. So as far as digital marketing goes, what are the main platforms that you use or you recommend people to use in 2023? And 2024, actually, since we're so close.
It's crazy. It's crazy how fast time flies. So, shameless plug, I am known as the Pinterest queen. I love the fact that Pinterest is a search engine. So whether you're creating new content and new pins, or you're just simply repurposing all of the amazing content that you already have, you should be leaning on Pinterest. And it takes minutes a day. And then, believe it or not, my 3 favorites are Facebook still, TikTok, and of course, Pinterest. So I am really, really big into video marketing, specifically short form. And so I will not only create for myself, but I teach the effective framework on how to create a 60-second or less video. And then I timed myself with my stopwatch yesterday to see how long it took me to repurpose this one short video into 14 different places. And it took me 14 minutes and 43 seconds. So 15 minutes a day, most of my marketing is completely done.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I want to go deep into Pinterest. You're the queen of Pinterest. I've already known that. It's really incredible what you've done for you and your clients as far as Pinterest goes. And so I would love to know more about that. Also, because my team, we're getting more into Pinterest. We're starting this year. So explain to me why I should be on Pinterest, or why my audience should be on Pinterest.
Yes. Well, social media, which I love, I'm obviously a trainer, it's like buying a new car and driving it off the lot. It depreciates very quickly. And I wish I had the graphic with me so I could read the actual stats. So I'm just going to kind of improvise here. But the average lifespan of your TikTok video is like less than 12 hours, right? Your Instagram post is less than 5 minutes. YouTube, 24 hours. Facebook, an hour. The average, so if you suck, there's hope. The average lifespan of one pin is 4 months, up to years. So being that it's a search engine, my 8-year-old daughter, we were out a couple Saturdays ago and she had her little iPad and she said, Mom, can we make French macaroons today? And I'm thinking, sure. Like, I'm not a baker. If you find a recipe, I will clear my day and we'll make French macaroons. So she went on Google. She looked up French macaroon recipe on her own, on her little iPad. And what do you think popped up? It was a Pinterest pin. So she clicked on that link on Google. It brought her right into Pinterest. So Pinterest and Google are literally best of friends. The last time I searched, and I'm sure it's so much higher now, there were 33,000 Google searches every single second. So when you start to use Pinterest, there's 465 million monthly active users on that platform. It is not just for hair, nails, oh my. There's male pinners that are growing, Gen Z growing, and 85% of those 465 million say Pinterest is the very first place they go when they're ready to buy and they're ready for inspiration. So now you've got the Pinterest power combined with the Google power, and you are creating what I call serious longevity. And if you are consistent, I don't care if it's once a day, once a week, 10 times a day, 30 times a day, I promise you that your content on Pinterest will outlive you.
So as a coach or entrepreneur, how do I even get started on Pinterest? Obviously, I make an account, but then what?
Yeah, so you want a business account for sure. So you can go to business.pinterest.com. Set up your profile, set up your bio, let the world know who you are, what you do, how you help. It is imperative. Like, this is the most critical thing that I could say. Really step into the shoes of your ideal customer or client for a moment and think, if I were in this pain, in this problem, needing a solution or have a desire, how would I search for that? So the main 3 ways are like how to blank. Ideas is a big keyword. Tips is a big keyword. So whether it's weight loss tips, make money online, start a podcast, you can incorporate the how-to, the tips, and the ideas, and you want to use keywords all throughout your Pinterest account. And there's tools. Pinterest has got a free tool. It's called trends.pinterest.com. When you hop over to trends, you can search by industry, by interest. You can free text, marketing, business, whatever it is that you're into, and it will give you ideas for keywords. It will let you know how it's trending. It will actually give you predictions as well for the next, 3 to 6 months. So you want to use the verbiage that they're kicking back for you. And that is how you're going to sprinkle those keywords into your bio, into your board titles. A lot of people don't know that you can actually have a description of the board itself. So if you had 10 boards, each specific board should have a board description. It just tells your viewers what this board is about. So it allows you to be multi-passionate over there. And it's a great opportunity for you to sprinkle those keywords into your board description. And then when you create your actual pin, you would sprinkle some keywords into your title and into your description as well. So being that this is a search engine, you're really evolving with this, what I'll call, the compound effect. And because it's a search engine, it is going to take 3 to 6 months to ramp up. So I tell everyone, don't come over here with this instant gratification mentality. You are literally creating generational wealth if you do this right. So I mean it, like your Pinterest and your residual income will need to be in your will.
That's amazing. Yes.
Good problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, sign me up.
Done.
Hello, amazing, wonderful people. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. And if you are, could you please share this with someone who you really truly think needs it or would enjoy listening to these type of podcast episodes? It would really mean the world to us. Our team works so hard on these episodes, and we really try to provide the most value we possibly can for our listeners. So a few ways that you can share is take a screenshot of this episode and share it into Instagram. We would love to tag you in our stories. And a few other ways is sharing exactly what you loved about this episode and what truly made an impact in your life. And one last thing, if you are enjoying this podcast episode, if you could leave a review for us, that would be everything. It really does help our podcast, and it also helps other beautiful, wonderful people find our podcast as well. So thank you so much, and let's get back to the show. So let's say I have my profile. I have my board set up. Is there do I really need to pay attention to the boards? Like, is there a certain way I really need to set those up? Or is it just based on maybe pillars of content? How would you just suggest setting those up?
Pillars of content are great. So if you have like a theme or a topic, an umbrella, that's a great way to do it. Because then in the board, so if the board is a file cabinet, there's something now called sections. So if you wanted to do like make money online, I'm just using that as an example, you could have a section for affiliate marketing. You could have a section for network marketing. You could have a section for digital courses, all under the Make Money Online board. But that's it. This is just really a personal decision. There's no right or wrong here. If you didn't want it set up that way, then you could have a board for affiliate marketing, a board for network marketing, and a board for instead of sections. They're all still going to be seen the same way because they're individually placed into the news feed or the home feed of Pinterest. And people are going to find them two ways. One is your keywords. So if they go to either Pinterest or Google and they use those search features and they're typing in what you're talking about, if you've done a good job really planting those keyword seeds repetitively, consistently, you're going to populate as a potential resource for the reader. And the other way is every single user on Pinterest tells the platform what kinds of things they're interested in. So now when you create a pin, it's literally pushing it out to the people who are already searching for that type of content.
Amazing. And then what type of content should we be posting inside these boards?
Anything. So many misconceptions like, oh, I don't have a blog. So what? I'm literally hosting a Pinterest 5-day challenge right now. It has been so fun to see people learn. We've had just under 500 people register for this challenge. So it's like watching kid in a candy store. So fun. And last night I brought up the slide where I'm like, okay, are you a podcaster? Have you been a guest on someone's podcast? You have a link, a URL for every single podcast episode. Pin them. Go pin them over there. You can literally share your TikTok videos. Pinterest doesn't hate on the TikTok watermark. So if you've got TikTok videos, you'll notice there's a share button on your TikTok video. You can literally share it to Pinterest right from inside of TikTok. You can do the same thing with YouTube. I've had clients build tremendous Facebook groups by pinning the URL for their Facebook group. We can pin lead magnets. We can pin websites. We can pin Instagram, right? If you want to grow an Instagram following, I was able to build my Instagram following to almost 23,000 people just from pinning about it on Pinterest. So there's nothing that's like off the table. Affiliate marketing, it's all good. It's all good.
Is there one type of post that performs better than others? Maybe it's video, maybe it is a blog post, maybe it's a podcast. What would you recommend for that?
It's funny you ask that. So Pinterest just has a relatively brand new update. They're getting away with what has been called Pinterest TV, and that's the Pinterest live streaming capability. They're discontinuing that on September 25th. So in lieu of that, they are really starting to give so much love and so much emphasis to video pins. So, as we know, anytime a platform rolls out a newer feature, they're going to reward those early adopters. And so, although video marketing or short form video or reels is nothing new to us, it is relatively new to Pinterest. So, of course, blogs generate tons and tons and tons of leads. Video is where it's at right now. So you can come over to the platform and you can upload a video pin of up to 5 minutes in length. So 5 minutes or less.
So it sounds like an amazing time, honestly, to put Pinterest into your strategy because
Definitely.
I mean, who most people at this point have probably done some type of video in their marketing because that's just the thing to do in these days.
Yes.
So I could imagine how you could easily blow up on Pinterest with a video. So that will be a really really interesting change moving forward with Pinterest. Do you see that being more of the evolution on Pinterest? Is it going to be more of a pinned video, or do you still see it being more static images as well?
Honestly, my prediction is that it's going to be both, but more dominated by video. I don't think the static pins are ever going to go away because it is that visual search engine and they don't want to be YouTube. They don't want to be just a video platform, but they're giving a little bit of leeway to the video creators just because they've decided to discontinue the Pinterest TV. So even though it's more emphasis and more love right now, it might not stay that way forever. But I track metrics like a beast, and I can tell you that the video pins absolutely get more exposure faster. And prior to this podcast being recorded, we weren't able to put a link on a video pin, only a static pin. So you'd have to do a really, really good job directing people or making a solid, call to action. They'd have to either go in and manually type your link or click your bio or something. Now they've opened up the ability to put a clickable link with your video. So this is next
That's
level stuff.
huge. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Especially now where
So
YouTube is taking away their links on short form video, on shorts.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So Pinterest, okay, that is so interesting. And so when someone is watching this video, they click a link. Where do you recommend we send people?
Into your ecosystem. Yeah. Literally, I love to coin the term your virtual spider web. It's very, very important that, we're not just driving people somewhere where it has the potential for a drop off rate that we can't track, right? So if we feed them into a lead magnet, whether on your email, if we feed them into a Facebook group, if we feed them into a community of something, then that gets them into your ecosystem. It gets them into your web. And I realize that a spider web is meant to capture prey, and our leads and our audience are not prey. But the deeper they're in our web, kind of the harder it is to get out. And they have that chance to really like, know, and trust and fall in love with you. And that always think about the next step. Like, where do I want to guide my people?
And so Pinterest isn't so, from what I know, it's not so much community based.
Right.
So would you recommend maybe sending people to nurture them in some way with a community, or is it a good place to send them straight to your offers? Like maybe it's a low ticket offer, or maybe obviously lead magnet is always amazing.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, what would you say about that?
I want you to think about the Pinterest people, the pinners, as we call them. They have their credit card in hand. They're ready to buy. So your digital products, your low ticket products are definitely where it's like not a huge risk, especially if I don't know you. Maybe on the back end, you've got a higher ticket upsell. Yeah, they're ready to buy. So courses, products, affiliate products, things where you really want to monetize. So I have a client in Australia. She sells hemp oil for dogs. And I don't know what happened last year. She woke up and found her Facebook group of 6,000 members completely shut down, completely gone. And she was hurting, man. She wasn't really following building an email list at this point. Like she knew she should have. And so, of course, we know Facebook, there's no phone number to call. There's no email to inquire or complain. She had one option, and that was to click a button that said, I'd like to appeal this decision. And so she appealed it. She went to bed that night thinking, my business will be restored in the morning. And it wasn't. She actually woke up and found that her personal profile was completely shut down. And Facebook had said, don't even attempt to create a new account within 6 months because, we'll track your IP address and what. So it took her a couple of weeks to really lick her wounds, go through the emotional process. And she came to me and said, okay, do you think that Pinterest will work for my business? And I said, oh, sweet girl, you show me any business and I promise you, I will show you how to be profitable, how to be effective, how to generate leads, how to drive traffic. What's the goal here? And so we started working together in July of 2022. So it's been just a year now. And her story amazes me. The first month, which would now be August, we're only 4 weeks in. And remember, I said this is a 3 to 6 month window, a good 3 to 6 months for an ROI, which is return on investment, whether it's your time, your effort, your energy, or money. And we honed in on her keywords so well that she very nonchalantly in August said, I've made $1,000 day with her beautiful Australian. I said, hold up. I'm sorry. Why'd you wait to the end of our coaching session? And two, why the hell are you so nonchalant about this? And we both died laughing. And I said, okay, with a Facebook group of 6,000 members, clearly you would have had to have $1,000 day. And she said, no, I never have. So that week, she closed out with $2,003 in sales. The very next week, she did $2,000. So in the month of August, she did $4,003 in sales, 100% from Pinterest. Now that's 4 weeks in. Next month was, what do we know, August, September. She did $5,869 in sales from Pinterest. And the next month, October, was actually a beautiful story. She flew from Australia to the UK. She got deathly sick. I mean, she couldn't even lift her head off of her pillow. So, of course, she wasn't thinking about creating new content or repurposing content. She was trying to heal and fight to stay alive. And all of the pins and the content that she had created in the 2 or 3 months prior carried her through her sickness. So she made $4,000 in sales from bed without even creating another new piece of content. She came back in November with a vengeance. She increased to 2 pins a day. And she said, I'm going to do 12,000 in sales this month. And I'm sure I dropped some profanity. And I was like hell you are. No one can go from $4,000 to $12,000 in sales in 1 month. That's nuts, right? And so she didn't hit her goal, but she did come within $500. So she closed out November with $11,500 in sales, which brought her very first 5 months on Pinterest to over $25,000 in revenue. And coming from a place where you just lost a 6,000 member Facebook group, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome for her. And that is the power of Pinterest.
That is such an amazing story, especially starting from zero. And really, Pinterest doesn't take very long to do because, like you said, you're already posting that somewhere else. So for that to just come from Pinterest alone, not including Instagram, not including anything else, is really, really incredible. And so for someone that wants to do something similar like that and just wants to incorporate Pinterest into their strategy, obviously, so we need to pay attention to SEO. Sounds huge. And then the types that, I guess, if we're already posting our videos somewhere else, we'll just use the same videos. It sounds like we could just use those short form videos within 5 minutes of videos and then have that link to, I guess, our lead magnet or our low ticket offer, or maybe it's a challenge, because it sounds like you probably run your challenges on Pinterest as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing. So is there anything else that we could really, any actionable tips? Like, it sounds like she was posting twice a day at the very end, but how many times, what's the frequency that we should post? Is there any hashtags? Is there anything actionable else that we could also incorporate into our strategy?
Yeah, it's gonna vary based on what you're selling. So if you have physical products, if you have, let's say, a Shopify store, you can actually link Shopify to Pinterest directly, and Pinterest will pull all of your products into what's called Pinterest catalogs. So it's gonna be very, very different if you're selling like a tangible physical product than a digital product. Um, and she did have a Shopify store, and I really think that was just pivotal for her success, because then the buyers can shop and buy right from inside of the Pinterest platform without having to click and go into, a group, a lead magnet, a checkout cart, or anything like that. But you just want to make sure that your keywords and your SEO are very, very clear. Um, your graphics, it's a visual search engine. So they love to see lifestyle kind of graphics and large text on the pins. We want it easy to read, we want it clean, we want it minimalist, and then you could literally send them anywhere.
Amazing. And so Tailwind. How does Tailwind come into all of this? What some girl I follow on Instagram and TikTok, she's brilliant and she swears by Tailwind. So do you guys use Tailwind? Do you recommend people to use the software called Tailwind and explain it what it is?
Yeah. So full disclaimer, the story that I just shared with you about my Australian client, she did not use Tailwind at this time. She still doesn't today. So that was 100% just pure organic effort. I'm hosting a VIP day here at the end of September to specifically teach Tailwind, because there's so much power in collaboration. And when you join the Tailwind communities, you can find communities that are in your industry that align with your niche and your ideal clients. And you can upload your pins to that community. And for every pin you upload, you want to share someone else's pin to your boards, to your account. So it's a very, very reciprocal process, and you will grow exponentially if you have the right community with active people, because you're constantly being shared and repinned. And that growth, anytime someone repins something of yours, you are now being exposed and marketed to everyone who comes across their Pinterest account, their network. And so, yeah, it's powerful.
So is that what Tailwind is? Is it a community? I guess I don't understand Tailwind as much as my social media managers do. So is it a community, or how would I use it if I wanted to use Tailwind?
Tailwind is really, it has a plethora of things that you could do. It is essentially a scheduler. So you can link it with Instagram, you can link it with Pinterest. Those are the two platforms that it works with. And it's very cool because it sucks in the analytics and the metrics, and it'll tell you what are the types of things you should post. Here are the times, like the best times for your audience for you to post. And so you're able to batch your content, you're able to organize your content. And then for the Pinterest side, the add-on feature, and it's free. You can use Tailwind for free. You do not have to pay for this service. You can join communities as part of the free version. So I think you can join up to 5 communities, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're in 5 communities, whether it's all for the same niche or whether you are someone who's multi-passionate, you can really see how quickly that those efforts would compound and expose, as far as visibility, get you out there faster.
And would you recommend, if I'm a coach or an entrepreneur or service provider and I'm using Pinterest, would you absolutely recommend me using Tailwind for this?
I would. And not necessarily at first. It just feels like another thing to do. I think once someone gets their bearings as far as, okay, let's make sure that your board is set up effectively, meaning the right keywords are in all the right places, your bio, your board titles. Let's make sure you've got some pins up, some, quality pins up. And then let's take you over to Tailwind. The worst thing we could do is get you all kinds of mass exposure and mass momentum and have people come back and be like, well, there's not much here. What does she do? I don't get it. It's not set up, So I think, A, B, C kind of thing.
And As far as challenges go for growing on Pinterest, what would you say are the biggest challenges that you've seen with your clients and just the industry in general?
We are an instant gratification society. And so knowing that any search engine, Google, right? If we start blogging, we know it's going to take us probably a good 12 months of consistent effort. We're not going to go viral on YouTube with our channel right away. Those who do, God bless them, they're super fortunate, but it is hard work. It is strategic work, I should say. And it's going to take time. So I think the reason why I don't see more success stories on Pinterest is because we're planting those seeds, which I call invisible results. They're invisible results until they're not. And that time frame is different for all of us, but we know that it takes 3 to 6 months of consistent action to see, your email list grow, your Facebook groups grow, the money starts coming in. And a lot of people, they quit before it's their season, and it's a shame. And I hear so many times people will come back to me and go, ugh, I should have kept going. I shouldn't have stopped. And I'm like, well, I'm very transparent. I'm very upfront with this information. Stay consistent and stay stubborn.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it sounds like, yeah, like you said, you're planting seeds and you just have to wait for them to water. And I could imagine those people are finally seeing their seeds water and it's like, oh shit. Oh
Yes.
man, this would have been such a beautiful garden if I just kept going. But now
Yep.
now it's starting to die. And then as far as opportunities go, what would you say in 2024? Obviously, video is one of them. Any other opportunity, like massive opportunities that you see in the market for Pinterest for a business owner that really wants to incorporate this strategy?
I think just using it is the opportunity. We don't need billboards. We don't, I'm not condoning or not any other marketing tactic. We pay for ads, we do these things, and I do it all. I pay to speak, I do all the things. But the fact is, if you're going to use it, you're already probably 2 steps ahead of everybody else. So using it consistently, whatever consistently means to you, you can honestly pin from 1 to 30 times a day. 30 times a day is like absolute beast mode. 30 times a day is the people who are in the tailwind communities. They're the people who are repurposing their existing content. I mean, you can share Facebook Lives over to Pinterest. You can share pretty much anything over there. So I would say number 1 is using the platform consistently. And number 2 is adding the video as well. So make sure I like to do 1 video a day at least, and then multiple pins. And that includes the communities, that includes repurposing, and that also includes new pins I created inside of Canva.
That's really, really helpful. And as far as digital marketing goes, because you obviously do more than just Pinterest. You do YouTube Shorts. It sounds like you do Instagram and Facebook. Sounds like you have your spider web is cast very, very far.
It is. They call me omnipresent, and I don't die working. I have a great life. I have a lot of free time. It's all about leverage. So I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to say that.
No, you're right. It really is. It's about leverage. Everything's about leverage in business. And I mean, that's how you scale. That's how absolutely you make a massive impact. So in terms of digital marketing, in terms of you being omnipresent, and what are the biggest trends that you see coming into 2024 for digital marketing?
Gosh, that's a good question. Believe it or not, Facebook business pages are making a very, very big comeback. And I think in 2024, we're going to see a lot more uses for Facebook business pages. I predicted that a while ago, and then Gary Vee came out publicly and started predicting it. So I'm like, I'm not too far off of Gary Vee saying it, but I know, believe it or not, I think that I know people feel that the ADD, the attention span, all that stuff. I think YouTube is rolling out the option for someone to watch 4 videos at once. I'm sorry, what? Like my brain can't follow all of that. Exactly. I see a trend, and my prediction is that longer form video is going to make a comeback, and that is going to include Facebook Lives. I mark my word. I look at patterns. I see how people behave, and we get to a point where we're so tired. the whole world has swept in with these short videos, and you can get stuck in the scroll hole, like seriously forever. It's all about value, it's about community, and it's about really if the authenticity. People are tired of perfection. They want the real, they want the raw, they want the no fluff, and it's really about community and authenticity. So,
And Facebook, you think if we had to get on an opportunity, obviously Pinterest, and then also Facebook business pages, and then you said live, going live in Facebook. What about? I mean, obviously the other platforms have live as well, but do you see Facebook really being the kind of the go-to platform in terms of going live and really building a community?
the younger generation would yell at me right now, and they're like, "You old lady, you're still on Facebook." TikTok lives, I don't think are going anywhere. I think those are still there for sure. And once people hit those 1,000 followers and they can go live, do your thing. Um, I just had a thought and I lost it, and I hate that. I love to repurpose the hell out of my content. And so, what I would say going into 2024 is really sit back and breathe. We have to slow down to speed up. And we're trying to be everywhere all at once so that we feel like we're not missing out. We feel like we're keeping up with, everybody else. Put your blinders on, screw what everyone else is doing and do you. So what I would say is there's a fabulous app. It's also a free app. It's called Metricool. May or may not have heard of it. So Metricool is another scheduler. And so what I do every single day is I create my 60-second short video with a very specific framework. I've got the hook. I set the hook. I add the piece of value, and then I make a solid call to action. I add the music, I add the text, I got all the little apps. The Captions app is great, CapCut is great. And then I bring it into Metricool, and I can put that on, let's say, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, Pinterest. That's 5 platforms. LinkedIn. Yep, that's all 6. Right from inside of Metricool. And a lot of people don't realize that you're not marketing the content that you already have enough. We think in order to stay relevant, we have to create more and more and more content when you need to be marketing the content that you already have so that you don't exhaust yourself and that you don't burn out. So once that video is set to all 6 of those platforms, then I'll start with Instagram. I'll open my reel and I share it to my Instagram stories. If it's an evergreen piece of content, meaning it doesn't have a deadline, like we're not trying to fill a masterclass or a webinar or something, if it's a relevant evergreen piece, I'll suck it out of my stories into my Instagram highlights. So now it has the potential to live on forever. Instagram is done. Then I go to Facebook. I open my reel, I share it to my stories, and then Facebook also has something equivalent to highlights, but it's called featured. So you can bring that story into your featured. And if you have a Facebook personal profile and a Facebook business page, then that one short video should be on both as a reel. And then you need to share that into your stories. So I have it every single day where I repurpose that one video to 14 different places. And that is what it's all about. You're not exhausting yourself. You're leveraging your time. You're staying relevant. So now with that short form video tactic, your marketing strategy, your Pinterest strategy, congratulations, you are now free.
Leverage.
Yep.
Leverage.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely. And we use Metricool too. I mean, there's obviously so many social schedulers out there. It's
Yes.
insane. But yeah, we use Metricool as well, and we've absolutely loved it. So, and this is not a paid ad or anything
No.
like that by either of us. We just
No.
yeah. Yeah. So and then so in terms of digital marketing, is there anything else that you see really happening in terms of the next 5 or 10 years that we
Oh.
as business owners we should really pay attention to?
AI, hello.
Yeah. Yep.
Gosh, AI is like just taking over. And a lot of people may not realize this at this point, but we moving into 2024, it's already happening now where the Google and the Facebook algorithms are both completely led by AI right now. So that is something that whether you love it, whether you hate it, you are going to have to understand at least how to use the tool, and also how is it being used to you. I don't mean against you. I just mean how are you, on the other side of that table. So I think making sure that you at least have an understanding of what's going on in the AI world. Everything, everything has AI attached to it, now including Tailwind.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to find out where Tailwind is using AI. I mean, it's crazy. We've been using AI for so many years without even knowing it.
Yeah.
So now I think we're really starting to realize, oh, that is actually AI. And so my team, yeah, we're absolutely incorporating AI as much as possible. We're embracing it. It really makes our life easier. We are able to make a bigger impact because of it and just share more with the world because of it. So I 100% agree with you. Like, not even just know it, experience it. How does it work? How does it work for your business? And why is it getting so popular? Like, really understand it, because I really do think if you're not using AI, you're going to be left behind.
Absolutely. And it's unfortunate, but it's also, we talk about leverage a lot, especially in this conversation. There's ways. I mean, I'm going to dive down a deep dark rabbit hole right now, but even just Chat GPT, you can ask Chat in a conversational way to create you, let's just say 10 quotes, 10 tips for your specific niche in a table form. Once it kicks out a table form, you can save that in like a Google Sheet, save that as a CSV file, and you go right into Canva and you bring that in. And in literally a few seconds, you will have 10 graphics in the click of just a few buttons, and boom, all of your images are there and ready for you to rock and roll. So we're batching faster. We're writing funnels and lead magnets faster, websites. I have a client who's an attorney. I am not joking. I asked him if he was using AI at any point, and he laughed at me and said, well, AI just wrote the entire homepage of my firm's website, and I had it write an opening statement for a trial that I'm doing on Friday. And I was like, see, it's crazy. It is something that it's like bittersweet, but if you don't embrace it, you're going to fall behind in business, and especially digital marketing, very, very quickly. And it would be detrimental.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to come down to the intention and the soul and the heart of the person behind using the AI. I think a lot of people think it's going to become, our world's becoming messed up, and it's not authentic anymore. But I mean, you can still tell how that person's heart is underneath
Yes.
everything. So I think that's going to be.
Newsflash. Our world was effed up before AI. All
Yeah,
right.
it's just going to emphasize what's already going on, but with that person. So
Yes. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it will just be interesting because it's evolving so fast that I feel all of us are just grasping the speed that everything's happening, and we're just like, oh shit, I need to use it, I need to use it, I need to use it, and incorporate. And there's a brand new tool. I just signed up for this software for $500 a year, but now there's this other tool that just is way better than what I just signed up. I've experienced this a lot with my team, but it's just yeah, you too, yeah. It's happening so fast, like lightning speed. And so it's just going to be so fascinating. Like, I'm really trying to come at it with a curious mindset and an open mindset, and just see where this is all going. And honestly, hoping for the best as far as AI goes, because it's a tool. It's just a tool. It's just a tool, just like social media. We could sit here and bash social media, but look at the incredible things it's done for both you and I, and as well as our clients.
And we can say the same thing about money.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was amazing. Kim, so is there anything that we did not touch upon that you would like to talk about, or any question I did not ask you?
what kind of deodorant I use. I don't know.
Ah.
We covered
Oh yeah, we
so
could go deep.
much.
I know.
Oh,
I was absolutely.
no, this was a great conversation. I just hope that, I hope that you'll take away the piece of the authenticity. You're absolutely right. You can still be authentic and use tools like AI and use leveraging tools like Tailwind. And those are just tools in the business to help you leverage your time and embrace what you have. So we talk a lot about the work-life balance crave. It is more of a blend, and sometimes you're off balance in order to be balanced. There are days where I'm more with the family than the business, and there are times where I'm more with the business than the family. It's just the way that it is. So if you embrace that slowing down to speed up, as long as you are remaining in your lane of authentic genius, you're using the leverage tools, and you're just really intentional with your efforts. Everything you want, everything can and will happen. And not to be corny, a cliche, but that's why I named my business Life by Design, because you can design your life. I've proven it. I've come out of teenage pregnancy and food stamps to a multiple 6-figure-a-year business with a badass life and amazing. My younger self is like cheering me on. And that's why I've got these little squishy pom-poms on my head, So do you.
Amazing. Those were just like I could not have summed up all of this, like the importance of everything we just talked about better. So that was incredible. And what are 3 books that you could recommend to my audience?
Well, the first one is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. That was huge impact for me because Napoleon Hill interviews the devil himself, and he will come to you and literally says in the interview, when I want to derail you, when I want to keep you small or stuck, I'm not going to come wave a flag and make it obvious. I'm going to come to you disguised as your own voice, your own thoughts, and your own mind. So that made me realize the moments that I didn't want to do it, or I felt like I wasn't confident enough, or maybe imposter syndrome was sneaking in. I thought, not today. And it got me right back on track. Another book that I love and highly recommend is called The 12-Week Year. And it gets us out of that annualized thinking and how to break your year into 12-week segments so that you keep the momentum, the production, the excitement. And then on week 13, you get to rest and reflect and plan for the next year. So now if you have 4 quarters in your year, and let's say Q1, 2, and 3 weren't going as planned, you don't have to be like the New England Patriots and try to come back to life in the last and final 4th quarter. You can pivot and redirect and still have a fantastic year. And then my book, Life by Design. It's how to create that balance of work, play, and family, and how to do it and do it well.
Where can we find your book?
Amazon, baby.
All right. Best place is Amazon. Love it.
I mean, I've got tons of copies, so you can always reach out to me too, but just head over to Amazon. Life by Design by Kim Ward.
Oh, I'm totally looking this up afterwards. Oh my gosh, I would love to read that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Kim, thank you so much. And where do you hang out? Where can people find you?
Pinterest, Facebook,
Yeah,
TikTok.
yes.
I mean,
Everywhere.
The easiest thing to do is just go to successwithkimward.com. All of my social links are there on my little link tree. And thank you so much for having me. This is just a wonderful time. And I hope that, you guys are getting tons of value out of it.
Absolutely. And we'll leave all of Kim's links down below, you guys, and resources. She has some amazing resources that she's going to leave you guys as well. So make sure, go follow her. She's and please go watch the video. If you're not watching the video again, go watch it. Like, look at what she does and brings to the table. She really is the true embodiment of just living, right? Living by design and embodying an authentic, fun energy. So thank you. I'm so glad we got connected, Kim. Thank you so much. And I'll look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
And with that, we come to the close of yet another epic journey of the Aligned Empire podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to the frequency of your limitless potential. Each episode is a code to unlock your unique energetic frequencies of money, business, and your aligned empire. If you feel this episode would resonate with others, please share it forward, creating a ripple effect throughout the universe. Make sure to subscribe to continue this journey of transformation with us. Join us again next week as we continue to rise together, joining a movement that is changing the world. This is Drea Brown, your guide on this journey, signing off.